Tonight we're looking at swim strokes from people from the Upstate Triathlon Club. First up is Athena Hortis. Initially, I'm really noticing the straight arm pull, not a lot of bend really anywhere in her stroke. So I'd like to see a bent arm catch where you're pulling the arm almost on a diagonal towards your chest. Um, Maybe also pushing the chest and head down a little bit more to keep your hips up. That is the main thing, though, that I would focus on for Athena for the next few weeks for sure, is really learning how to grab that water. From above the water, Athena has a pretty good high elbow. Typically, I like to see the hand always underneath the elbow, and sometimes on the recovery, especially with the right hand, you can see that hand up above the elbow. Coming forward, you can see that we're crossing over the center line under the body. Here we've got Jim Ballinger. Jim has worked a long time on his swim stroke. He's got a really pretty good bent arm catch under his body, but not much of an early catch. That's something that he's been working on. Nice steady kick and moving through the water really pretty well. From above the water, pretty good high elbow on the recovery. And under the water, you can see that nice bent arm catch. Like to see the elbow a little bit higher. Okay, so here we have, again, pulling straight down with the arms. Also, breathing late. Basically what that means is you're turning your head much later than you should to get a breath. If you start your breathing when your hand that's pulling starts the pull, that would get your timing right on. Like to see much more bend in the arms on the catch. Kick is pretty good, but you definitely want to make sure to keep those legs close together. And maybe a smaller and faster kick would be helpful. Here you can see how wide the arms are pulling from the body, and also that there's a little bit of over rotation. Above the water, this looks pretty good. Nice high elbows. Here we've got really nice extension, good body position, really excellent body position. But what I'm seeing is on entry, your arm is pushing down and not grabbing water early, as in before your head. So it would be helpful to you to start your catch a lot earlier, give you about another foot at least of pull. Otherwise, you see here we've got a really nice bend in the arm further back. I would also like to see the elbow out away from the body a little bit more to give you a little bit more power on that pull. But hand should always come in closer to your body. Keeping that elbow high on the catch is something that's really important. You do a good job of it for the most part. Here you can see there's still a little more bend, especially with that left arm. So here's Scott Murr, great body position. I would like to see the eyes looking down a little bit more, just chin into chest a bit instead of looking forward quite so much. Um, really good glide, but almost too much glide. Um, I'd like to see the turnover a little faster just to get some more speed, as well as an earlier catch. Here, the same thing we saw just a minute ago. He's reaching forward, but not really starting the catch till back closer to the shoulder. Arms could be bent a little bit more. Here's the recovery. Has a good high elbow. The hand is just under the elbow, but as you notice with the right hand, kind of throwing it up higher. That's pretty typical that people have one arm that they tend to do that with. Again, I still would like to see that head down a little bit more. Here is David. The first thing I noticed with David right away is notice the hand entry. That is not efficient. You're pushing water ahead of you. The hand needs to enter kind of going straight towards the other wall, like with the fingers pointed towards the other wall, and then start the catch. So it's first enter, then start the catch. It's just not efficient to push water either with the palm up or the fingers down the way David is doing. The good news is that's a really easy fix. In general, David has a great high elbow on the recovery, just beautiful. He can definitely work some more on his catch, getting those elbows bent more. Here we see that definitely needs some more bend and to bring the elbow out and the hand in closer to the body. Great streamline. So here what I'm seeing is really nice reach, except this is what I call overreaching, because once you enter the hand, you want to enter it and then start your stroke with the other arm. Here, he's letting the elbow drop on that leading arm so that the elbow is, again, below the hand. You can see that. You should be able to see that right here. Notice how the hand is up above the elbow, especially there on the left hand. Never want the hand above the elbow. And you don't want to hold the rotation as long. So you would want a little bit faster turnover. Pretty good catch in terms of bent arm, but just too much reaching. And this overreaching doesn't allow him to get a good early catch at all either. There's almost a pause in the stroke, which you never want. Looking from this angle, it almost appears like he's doing catch-up drill. Catch-up drill is a great drill, you just don't want to be doing it while you're swimming. All right, so here is a good example, kind of pulling wide. I notice especially with the left arm. It's going to push you from side to side a little bit in open water, and also it causes a lot of drag, as do any of these straight arm catches or deep arms, whatever you'd like to call them. Because when your arms are that deep in the water, it's really hard to get them turning over. And if there's one thing that you take away from the session tonight, it's that your catch is your body position first, and then your catch is really the most important part of your stroke, because it propels you forward. So spend time working just on your catch, your early catch, and by early I mean everything that's in front of your head and shoulders, and then the catch that's under your body. Typically, I like to work on the part that's under your body first, and then for people who are a little more advanced, ease into the early catch, so everything that's in front of your head. Here you can see a little bit of crossover, and how deep the arms are in the water. So here we have, you can see the hips are a little bit lower in the water. I'd like to see her really lean on her chest and bring her chin down a little bit more into her chest in order to help get her hips up. Then after that, go into working on the catch, just really bending the arms, bringing the hand in closer to the body and the elbows up higher, in order to give her some power in the water. Kick looks pretty good. Timing looks good. Breathing a little bit late, as in turning the head to get air when you're almost finished the stroke instead of when you're starting it, which is a typical issue. And not keeping that arm, the leading arm, extended while you're breathing, makes breathing a lot harder. From above the water, looks pretty good. I'd like to see a little bit of a higher elbow, especially on the left. And from under the water, is a good beginning, but definitely need to bend